Hi, Warriors. Dale and Mike here at TradeGATEHub.com. Mike, how you doing today? I like your backdrop. I think every trader has to be like Rocky. He got knocked down. He had to have his eye cut to continue the fight. But you need to have that desire, especially when things aren't going well for you.
As a matter of fact,
Perfect.
we heard from Tim today, and I guess the common denominator theme was find a way to win.
Okay.
Well,
Before we get to the markets, there's a special situation. I brought up the grains in the main room for quite a while. And last week I tweeted and posted when wheat was down here to buy it in case there was a problem with the dirty bomb, or I didn't know what the narrative was going to be, but technically it looked good to me because we'd already, made the low, talked about it down here, and we were pulling back. So the move in the grains is just beginning. Here's, weekly on the wheat. I never knew why they really came down like it. It just shows how financialized the whole system is, because I didn't stop eating Wheaties on this decline. Did you?
No, you know what? You probably, if I look at that mirror July, yeah, same as maybe natural gas did the same thing. That was obviously leveraged to the war. If you punch up UNG, it was an analogous move.
Yeah, I can buy it more with economically sensitive commodities, but not grains and food stuff. Anyway, this I see no reason why we can't attack the highs again. So there's your wheat. The beans also turned this week. They even have a stronger structure. And let me leave it with you can't eat gold. So if you think people are emotional about the precious metal market, and grains in shortage have caused many geo problems. The Arab Spring happened the last time wheat did something like this. So with the instability that's going on because of COVID and supply chains and everything else, food shortages in unstable regions like the Middle East and third world countries is not going to calm things down. So with that being said, Mike, one heck of a run in the S&Ps. I know, we were participating in it. And yesterday in the room, we were talking about that, look to book things because Jay Powell might be mean tomorrow,
right.
especially
it's happening now.
Yeah. So I'm curious, when you have a book with multiple positions on, how do you hedge this with the Fed? VIX?
Well, I do it beforehand. I'm doing something now. Anything that, listen, Coach, how I analyze a position in a long term, actually, it's gotten even short term to a degree, is if I didn't own it now, if for example, if I own, let's say Apple, for example, I would say if I didn't own Apple now, would I buy Apple here? And for several reasons. And that I would either cut it, I would add to a portfolio. Listen, it's going to be, I've come to the conclusion that there are going to be new leaders in the next, however, cycle, if you will, micro cycle, macro cycle.
Is this the macro you wanted to bring up? Is the change of leadership and who's going to be leading the way? Really different market now. A lot of people are saying growth. Who do you think are going to be the new leaders here? And while I have Apple up, look how it came right against the 200-day.
Yeah.
I'd buy a break to 140. I know it sounds pretty far away, but I would look for the potential of a higher low. I'd buy it down here, risking the low of the move. So
I appreciate that. I'm taking it something like I'm taking it on a case by case basis. Some stocks have not, given up the 200-day and look better on. Certain stocks are acting because of fundamental reasons or earnings. And as I said in TradeGATEHub this morning, we've had a better earnings season than we have in a decade. So here we are, is either peak inflation, have everybody discounted stocks to where they're washed out, have the mega cap stocks, the last to go down, is a sign for the market to somewhat have an even more of a tradable bottom, or are they giving us a signal that the floor is about to collapse? I've given several instances, and there's several. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I can give a compelling story. I don't think we have time for it today, or we could do it afterwards. I could really convince maybe outside of the highest pros, as we say, I'll leave the professionals, of 10 to 15 good reasons why to go very long and the same way very short. Very compelling, I'm sure, each side, and probably can convince you of either way. I'm serious.
I believe you, because I mean, we're kind of in a neutral state. I'm going to go with what got us to the dance, and that's the long side and this low. So just like Apple, if the Fed creates some pressure in the markets, I think the 3,700 level should offer some pretty good support. And again, I get long with being wrong under the low, but I'm going to turn the screen over to you now so you could show us the different cases you're talking about that probably have much stronger patterns in the S&Ps and that have much weaker patterns in the S&Ps where, it's not all one market right now. So
Coach, yeah, you're right. And I apologize for that cutting you off.
Okay.
And it's because I have so many things to think about, not to dispel you, you know what I mean? Something gets up here and I want to get a thought across. Okay. And Helene says it all the time. Price.
I'm going to give you the screen.
Okay. And
There you go,
how
Rocky.
you doing, Rocky? We got Butkus sitting right down below me. Believe me, a little dachshund named Tony P. But he's a warrior, just like Butkus too. Believe me. All right, so I just want to cover up my screen so I don't get distracted by the quotes and the P&L ripping. No more kidding. Here's one thing that just came across my screen. If anybody wants to do beforehand, put call ratios well off the lows thanks to the fade bullish. Let me get back to TradeGATEHub.
You showed while you're on Twitter before you leave. Oh, it's okay.
Sure. No, go try again.
You did show something that you posted in the room. It looked like an Elliott wave count that showed a high, which came in today, before the fact, at 39.20, and that was kind of a bearish count that they had. I'm not sure. I think it was the guys at Elliott Wave. I forgot which one. There are quite a few. I think I know those guys, Eric and.
Is that so?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. First of all, I'm not surprised, but that's a hell of a feather in the cap. No more quants. J.P. Morgan head trader wishing this market lowers is frustrating. Holding a beach ball, ball underwater. I'm going to get to your point. Here it is. I'm going to get to your point. I'm peeling things off that I don't want to hold long term, predicated upon massive rotation that we could see almost even wave like in a buy. This is not often do you see the XBF and the Elliott wave give that's a binary situation right there.
Yeah,
predicated upon tomorrow's news.
Yeah, and it was 39.50. I don't know if we got there, but that would imply it's over and we're going to new lows. That count.
Okay, this was my point coming up, and Helene's point, Coach. If I didn't read the rhetoric, and I'm not cheapening the word rhetoric by not saying it's a great opinion or value based, because the market seems to be more emotional now than empirical. Is that if it wasn't the fact that I wouldn't think macro or economically that we move too fast, and went to Helene and just looked at charts and price Trump sentiment and looked at things like this. New share. Here's Goldman, and just looked at that, I think everything would be okay. Stocks like aside from the big mega caps, even stocks like even cheap stocks like coal, like something like that seem to have put in lows. Let me look at my screen to edify something.
It's going to be a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, look at something like a Shopify is holding above moving averages. A Roblox is looking at good now. Even the XBI is coming up again, and that's if we go back and test and pull the wave theory on the XBI or on the S&P as we were looking at, I mean, I don't think the XBI is going to go back to 83 to 58. So I'm on buying these type of levels.
Maybe 70.
Okay,
in
I'm
the
a buyer
worst
of
case.
something Las Vegas Sanders is going. It's been like a roller coaster on this thing. So I finally have it going that way. I don't usually take normal volatile positions in the fund of something like that. But then we're looking at the stocks like Caterpillar. You know, you had a chance to take it down. That's why the Dow is at its best month in October since 76, I think it was. And
Wow.
it's because of stocks like Caterpillar, IBM. I've been mugged. Parabolic. ExxonMobil, obviously in the Dow. You know what I mean? These are the Honeywell, the multi-conglomerate. So I don't know if it's peak inflation. I don't know if they're geniuses on leveraging against the dollar in a very, very unprecedented volatile environment, even with the bonds in the bond market in the dollar. But aside from putting it all together and going and putting it together within an equity run, some of these, McDonald's. Isn't it as international as you can get? I don't know what's going on here. Some even economists can point out what inflationary means, but even with these type of stocks going up with the XBI basing, and obviously these China stocks are going. Intel had a great, Intel had a move from 24 to 30 on good news, and they didn't short squeeze Intel. That has held.
No, they didn't.
That is held. So even something in AEM, which we've liked all along, is holding well with the goals. GDXJ looks like it might break out of flag, God forbid, even with gold down here. You know what I mean? SU, one of our fun stocks. Ring Central doesn't look like a lot, but I kind of do like it, believe me. SoFi had good numbers and held above the 50-day. It's yet to be determined if it's a one-day wonder. So it's not just.
So you got to buy pullbacks in these things you just showed me if they happen.
Yes, Fizzler.
Right?
They had a chance. Fizzler, FSLR, that now it's taking over the best of breed in the TAN section, the solar section. It was down $10. Granted, after earnings, that was their chance to take it down. Now it's become a best of breed, leading the TAN sector higher. ARRY, I'm long it. I sold a nice chunk today at the top. If you can see it, literally, that was a big chunk. I think that was 12,000 shares. Yeah. I sold 12,000 at the high, at 1280, at 1880. I still have some of it. I took a little bit off for it because I thought the market was pulling back. But that's a stock that I like to be accumulating on.
Any impact on the energy sector with Biden putting out there he wants a windfall profit tax on the oil companies?
Well, we'll look at the chart. Here's the chart on oil. It's kind of in no man's land, but you have a couple of big stocks coming out with earnings after the close. Devon Energy is one thing. And let me just go to something right now, how active we are. And this is not patting myself ourself on the back. This is what we should be doing as I log into TradeGATEHub and log in right now. I digress. I log in. This is the same as everybody else. But let me just make a point on Devon, for example. And here was this. PDD, a $6 range, great for trading. GDXJ, I thought that was the one. Faded some T in General Mills, predicated upon the rotation. Just for trades, I don't think General Mills is going back into the teens. Okay, good call in India, Coach. I remember when you called that back then. Remember?
Yeah.
Here it is. Skechers downgrade. That's when he knew the market was strong because it opened up.
Modi wants his citizenry to surrender their gold to them. Gold's like not just a material thing to the people in India. They give it as gifts and this and that. And he wants them to turn it in, and he'll give them a bond with an interest rate coupon.
Well, listen, there was also Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies at one point worth more than a bar of gold, and they wanted to trade that. Look at that went. I don't know if I go back with that economic policy.
Well, they're not going to. Who's going to turn it in? I'm just saying that Modi experiments. Modi was made a denomination of the rupee illegal. He basically declared certain fiat that they couldn't use. So, and now he wants the gold.
No,
what a world.
No, you know what? It is a world. And by the way, you learn something new every day. That's definitely one of them. I said Devon new high. It took out a new high, but then it going lower. So as I look at Devon and you look at the oil sector, as you said, this I'm going to be watching about. This has been a max performer, best of breed. It's doing a double top into earnings. It's a little bit overbought. I don't know if it's going. I'm not trading it today. It is a barometer. Devon is going to be. You asked a macro question about Biden. I'm not that intelligent. You're the pro. I'm trading the price action. But like I said, I could stand up there and to give the debate. I haven't really disseminated the information yet. That's what I do when I go back and watch your video at 9:30, and during lunch, I really do the majority of my reading and learn why. And that was more of a reactionary thing.
Well, I'm looking for plus 100 WTI,
Oh
but it
no,
doesn't
no,
mean we.
I'm with you. No. You know how I feel about that.
Yeah, doesn't mean the stocks can't take a hit. Just like they went up when crude wasn't
Correct.
for a long time.
Correct. Right.
Crude could advance, and the shares may have to deal with that windfall profit tax, or at least money flow away from them because of it. Possible. Something to be aware of. I tighten up my stops on longs and oils.
No, I'm looking. Listen, I've gotten myself into trouble in the early let's go to the oil chart earlier in my career because I was I was a contra trader. You know what I mean? And just like I posted on TradeGATEHub, XLE is up 12. Was up. Helene posted was up 12. XLE up 12 days in a row. I don't know if this is what Helene posted, but I'll take her word for it. So I just posted again. Don't bet against streaks. So we have a couple of good earnings stocks later, Devin including one of them. I'll get to the earning list later if I didn't post it, but I'm going to actively trade them. These are stocks with volume, as we can see the volume here. Maybe they get a little toppy and they unwind. I'm certainly not going to take a stand on the group because if I'm wrong in the group, especially coming into the Fed policy, thinking that I am bullish on crude going to 100. So basically, if I think the stocks, it's a market call from there. So I'm definitely not going to get stubborn and put the ego aside. I do like trading them, because they are in play. Here's a PXD at earnings the other day right there. So it gave up, it gave back a little bit of former best of breed. EOG, the number two. So, that never made a new high in EOG. That is considered the best of breed or besides PXD. So maybe they're, they could be, topping a little bit. But like you said, crude could hit 100. But I'm going to actively trade them and I like trading them. I've been trading them.
We had a pretty good bounce in the home builders last week.
Yeah.
Are they coming back in?
It's what, Coach. I right now I would buy if I believed in anything. I would say within 24, the 26 hours of a Fed decision, I'll buy a lotto ticket.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I just wanted to know if they were coming in. How about the biotechs?
Like I said, I like the biotechs.
I know you do.
I like the
XBI. Yeah.
I like I know a lot of big guys, and don't be dismayed by the price that are buying in this REGN. I know it's a $750 stock. Everything's relative. It's not overbought. It's a game changer. Look at the gap up. If this was a $12 stock coming from 450, coming from 6, you would kind of like it and have an interest in it. It's a game changer. I'm in it small at the fund. It's not small because it's expensive. Small because it's a percentage. I like it. I do like the XBI, but the one I took a position of yesterday is the IBB. That's the one that I like better. The other biotech fund, as you will, the XBI, it's still flagging there. It has more of these baby bios, if you will. The IBB has more of the monsters, and that's why
Amgen
Amgen and Regan being one of them, and stocks like SRPT. The big daddies that make a difference. So IBB I like as opposed to the XBI. If I'm going to take a stand on an index, and I don't really feel it's a stand. Like I said, I'm a buyer on dips. This is the one that technically I think even the algos would run to because it's cooperating, with all the moving averages, volume breakout, the flag. You know what I mean.
Okay. All right. Anything you want to wrap it with? You and I are going to co-anchor with Danny G's of SIBO tomorrow.
Yes.
Why don't you buy the VIX so we could talk to him about your long position in front of the Fed?
That might be, what, Coach? That could be, that you might be right because you know what? This is where you want to, if you're going to do it. But Danny's on because of the VIX futures. You know what? What's up for laughing?
It doesn't
I'm not
matter.
doing it, by the way. You like a drug dealer.
You're not doing it?
I'm not doing it. The one product I don't trade is the VIX. I mean, but the VIX futures I trade.
Okay. I know. You tell Lewis he'll never learn because he likes it.
No, I'm not. One thing I try not to do is definitely don't be a hypocrite. I can't be a hypocrite.
Okay.
Buy
a lot.
Buy the SPXL. That's the SPXL is the basically S&P on the the triple, the
Okay.
triple. Buy that thing.
Yeah.
It rips.
Yeah.
You want to trade something actively after that, trade that. Week it's gone from 58 to 70. But I'm looking forward to having Danny because I think tomorrow night it's going to be one of the lighter sleeper nights that I might even be trading some VIX futures. So
Yeah. Well, tomorrow night's after the Fed. So, I mean,
no, it's the best.
well,
It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas Eve for
it
for a
is.
reformed a convert. I
All
hope
right.
you understand what I mean by Christmas Eve and how important it is.
So we put out a question with this video, and I want your answer. Do you think Paul will be nice or mean tomorrow? Do you think he'll be mean, Mike? Mean to
I don't think
people?
it's well, it's certainly not going to be deliberate because then he should be in a different profession. He should be a sadist. He should be in a dungeon somewhere. But the thing is that he's gotten off making the first mistake by not raising too soon.
Right. No.
So he's already thick-skinned. I don't even care if they blast him because everybody I do believe predicated about something really outside the lines, like 100 basis points and hawkish. You know what I mean? Then I think the worst is over and we're gonna see how things are reacting.
Well, the market's hoping he's going to say they'll only raise by a half in December.
Oh, half is a 4% move up.
That's what they're looking for. 3/4 tomorrow and 1/2, and that maybe there's people, he says during the pressers, that they're considering watching things for a while, not flipping. The thing that they would do would pause, but that's what the market's hoping for.
But here, I think somebody set there's odds here on if Powell would what the movements are on the move. Bear with me because it is right here. I think I didn't want to post it because I didn't want to turn it to a gambling play. You know what I mean? And make it feel that way, even though I'm going to play it that way. No, but no, bear with me. Earnings tomorrow. They're buying Hood. They're loading into Hood, by the way. They're hoping for a squeeze. I'm not playing it. Fear and greed, by the way. Be careful.
Yeah, there's another, reason.
Hang in there, guys. It's worth it. So we'll wrap up here, Coach. What am I going to do from here? I'm going to be tactical. If I didn't do anything that aggressive, if I didn't do anything now,
Yeah, why do anything?
Here it is.
Yeah.
Oh no, then I'm not going to start. I'm not going to start now. It should be right here, right after that wave theory. Option recap, credit. I'm going to give it 5 more seconds, or else I'm going to cut my losses. All right, I'll get it later. I lost.
Okay, now there are ETFs on the grains, just so in case you didn't know.
Yeah, UGA.
Which one is that?
No, that's not UG. The grains. Oh, you know what it is?
The wheat.
ARNC.
But I mean specifically, there's one specifically.
Yeah, it's
for
WEAT.
Okay.
It's literally WEAT.
Yeah.
There it is. Hold on.
So that's another way to go besides futures.
Or you can still be buying ABM.
Yeah, or fertilizers. Anyway, ag is reasserting itself. That problem is something central banks can do nothing about. We have a La Nina developing again, which can lead to drought conditions in the Midwest. I've seen these cycles, El Nino, La Nina, and we have all kinds of political instability, narrow victory for the Brazilian Lula coming back, big producer. Anyway, you can't eat gold, can you?
Well, this is what my friend says, and I live in the Adirondack Mountains here, and I'm not going to be. I'm not a death scenario guy. Here it is, right here. I have it finally. Is that what's more when the world ends? What's going to be worth more? A bottle of gold, or a bar of gold, or a bottle of water?
A gun.
Yeah, no, he has plenty of those too. Trust me.
Anyway, I'm from Chicago. I carry mine around in a violin case. I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, no, that's.
Just call me Dale Capone.
I wouldn't be
All
a
right.
You ever go to Arlington Park?
Well, no, I'm Mr. Silver. What? Arlington Park? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great track.
I'm going to show you a couple of races later. It is a great track. They closed it down last year.
Oh, God. Everything's changing.
It is.
Next thing you know, they're going to be moving Christmas on us.
Just when you convert, you're going to have to go back to Judaism, then go back to the nine candles. Yeah.
I have a menorah. I'm hedged.
You should. So do I. I respect.
You have
all
a
people. I
menorah?
love
Good.
people. I'm like,
We'll light the candles over Zoom together.
Okay, we're going to leave it like this. And also, so this is part of the plan. You know what? It's not part of this is it's just as important right here as what the Fed is going to do tomorrow. It's how these stocks act after the Fed, before the Fed,
The earnings.
and after the Fed, and the following. All macro, basically macro in their relative respective areas, or best of breeds, or within the first tier.
Yeah, a lot of eyeballs on Devon with what's been happening lately.
Caesars. I gave that one up.
Yeah. Love Caesar's book. I used to go there all the
time.
time.
It is great. No, it's the only ones that still
Very
have the
nice.
voice. Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. McKesson, MicroStrategy, that's basically a Bitcoin. Match.com, Coach, and Devon Energy. So it's important to see how these act before the Fed and then after, because that will tip your hand on the rail. I'm telling you, this is the plan.
So, well, I'll tell you, I'd be careful with Match because people use photographs that are 20 years old to represent the way they look today. Huh? I'm just giving a risk disclaimer out there for Match, okay?
This is another one that's disclaimer. This picture. What's this thing? This picture. Blow this freaking picture up.
Oh, yeah. Ours? Yeah. Is that 20 years ago?
That was from my first one of 3 months of Trade View.
Oh, wow.
I still had hair.
Yeah.
Oh, proud moment.
Yeah. Money comes and goes. Time is gone forever, you old veteran. All right. Well, Mike, great hanging out with you. You know, what I really like about what we do is we provide some real good added value and we have fun. And it makes it easier for people to stick with us and pull out the pearls.
It's all, you know what, Coach? And I'm going to give another reason. Even if you want to mute us, this is starting to be a one-stop shop here. You want to mute us, fine. Go into the stock room, go into the watch market, look what's going on, monetary base. Here we have a calendar. Here we go to the stock room for those, if the stock's right here. You don't have to go to, it's a one-stop shop. Top US gainers right here. Punch it up by percent. Boom. I guarantee you, with a guarantee word in this business, that 80% of them here are 80% of them here. Bar chart, stock scanner. All right. So let's make, you want to put the mute button like my grandfather watched all the baseball games and used to mute the announcers. I actually liked hearing the people. You just go right at top US gainers. Your next stocks, most active by price. You want to know what the indices are doing? Punch up the indices.
What a great tool the developers came up with. Yeah.
Commodities. You want to know what's going on? Boom. There's what commodities are doing today. I had to go through Yahoo Finance, sign in, Gmail, do whatever, do things back then. You want to go on something with top news? Top news. Right here. This is the top news. Hang in there now. 12 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago in crypto. It's not even the newsworthy find. So we're posting that very much. You want to go back to the trading room. Boom, go back to the trading room. Look what they're doing. Look what we're posting. The news is here. Go back, watch the video while you're going over what we talked about. It's brilliant. You want to really get involved? If I had this when I was, like I said, I'll leave it this because I'm passionate. If I had this 10, 15, 20 years ago and I could do this and watch myself, that's what I say. Ooh, morning update with Eliman. Bravo, he's on board. Good Eliman. Watch the videos.
It was a year ago.
Oh, hold on. Where's the videos? Oh, hold on.
They're there.
They're there. Right here. What happened? They must be revamped. They cut me out. Am I fired? They fired me.
Put TradeGATEHub up in the top search. They'll all come up. I don't know what.
We used to when we were trading badly and was few and far between. TradeGATEHub.
Yeah.
You used to check on your email, or if they took you off the email, then you would have to get a box and you were finished.
There you go.
You know.
I just talked to Dave today. He's going to be here the 29th. Our Super Bowl.
What happened?
I talked to Dave today. He's going to be with us the 29th. David Hunter.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, and next month, Helene's going to be with us, so I'm putting together a pretty good November of guests. And you know what? This whole platform was something that Tim wanted to do to pay it forward because of how good the business and the markets have been to him.
Well,
And it's free. It's free, and you know, he's planting good seed
he's
to
planting
offer a
great
product
seeds in
like
you and
this.
I, because the whole goal here is for the longevity of the trader. That when you're signing on and using one of the various TradeView market platforms. We like rent. We are the best in the business. You can look at the cheap rentals. It's like looking on Zillow. You want to look at houses, prices. Please do your due diligence. I digress. We want you to rent out our property as long as possible, so you can keep trading and we can both be profitable and move on and move up to higher levels. That's why we take a step back, or Tim's taking a step back with this program for free, yet paying us to take 2 steps forwards and sees a vision of everybody have a long and community here where everybody, it's the bottom line is where everybody wants to have the longest career possible in all business. Salesmen, traders, the brokerage firm, the marketing team, the families that we provide, whatever it may be. Bottom line, there's no gimmick. I'm fine. I'm well enough to do. I'm fine here. Right?
Okay. I don't care what you do. You have to keep building your pipeline and not rest on your laurels. I rest my case. Last words, Mike, at least for this
Well, less word the
broadcast.
same as everything. You have to be aware of what's going on. We posted all the economic numbers, have a plan, and be able to execute it after. Know your style. A lot of things are going to go. A lot of things are happening and may happen that are outside. If you're an Olympic swimmer and your forte is the breaststroke, don't enter the backstroke competition. You're still swimming and you're still at Olympic level, but don't stay. Know your plan and stay what's best for you. It's a lot of different styles. We may just happen to do our style better. Get to know your style. There's always another trade, and the last thing you have to worry about is missing things. Well, we provide you with what's going on. That's what our job is. So that's what I'm saying. Good luck to everybody.
We'll always miss things. There's always another bus around the
Absolutely.
corner.
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Coach.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Big day tomorrow.
It's a big day. So I'll speak to you a little bit. I'll speak to you right in the back. I'll speak to you when we get off.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's a wrap, everyone. Remember, don't just count your bushels of wheat, count your blessings, and check out TradeView Markets and open a demo like you're seeing right here. Just click it.
Great.
Check out the spreads and everything on our screens that Mike just showed you. You could trade at TradeView Markets.